Peace.
And there you have it. Happy Father's Day.
Yep. All right.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
And happy Mother's Day to you, Derek.
I think
What's
Kelly's talking about the dolls behind you, Greg.
Oh. I'll bring him up close. I'll bring him up close next week. I'll have one of them sitting on my lap.
Right. Well, they're bigger than her. That's why she gets scared by them. They're taller.
You guys that are drinking your beer, I am partaking tonight of some raspberry wine. Yes. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. What's up? What's up? Don't sit and watch me drink wine. Tell me what's going on. I'm gonna start catty corner. Mike, what's going on?
What's going on? Well, I prior to getting on the show, my son took me out to go eat over at like some Asian Thai place. So I got to eat over there, and he got like a burger, even though I told him, you're at an Asian place and you should probably try some Asian food.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, that's what we did. And then trying to think. Oh, I was playing a little bit of Mission Possible before going on the show, because thinking about doing that is the next Retro Byte video. So yeah, I was just kind of jamming out the tune and seeing if I could still play it. So it's still playable, but I kind of remember it being hard for me. I think there's a part in the game where it gets really difficult, but we'll see how it goes on it. But I'm done with Castlevania, the gameplay. So I'm just kind of working on the script. I'm kind of tweaking it a little bit more, and it's going to be a little bit different. So, but that's what I've been doing.
Cool. Oh, what are you doing?
Nothing. Oh, well, we had dinner. My daughter came home, and we had dinner just now. We'll be having some ice cream cake later. And the wife will be going back to work. She's been on for like 3 weeks. She'll be going back tomorrow. So maybe I'll get some more gameplay. Housework done while she's gone.
Right.
Mostly messing with the arcade, putting games on there and requesting games. And I've been into the bezel thing now for some of those games. So pretty neat. And I actually deleted a game last night, and it didn't wipe the whole thing dead. So
what game did you get rid of?
I got rid of Q*bert to put Q*bert back on again, because they have Q*bert's cubes on there now too, which is another really good game. So I wanted to add them both back on with the new instructions for Q*bert, and I just wanted to see if I could delete it instead of just copying over. So now that I know that worked, I do have a couple games in there that don't do anything that I need to go in and wipe out of there.
You're keeping Logger at least, right?
Oh, for sure. That's staying. That sounds like a good Father's Day challenge right there.
Bart, what about you?
I work today, so big excitement. One of the guys at work said, "What are your Father's Day plans? You got plans for Father's Day?" I said, "Yeah, I'm going to do the show like any Sunday night. I'm going to hang out with 3 guys. 2 of them are dicks, and one's pretty cool, but I didn't say who's who. So I'll let you guys figure out who's which." But no, yeah. So my big Father's Day deal is just working the weekend, doing the show. That's what we do. So yeah.
I was still waiting in the shower for your Thursday night stream. I just got out just now because I figured you're never coming on. So
right. Yeah. Thursday, what did I have going on? Thursday, I think I was having some solar issues, and I was messing around with solar panels, and it was hot, and I got back in the house and sat down. It was like 5 to 6, and I'm like, no, not going to happen. I just need to relax. I don't know, but yeah. And then the dang got home today and my dang batteries were not charged as high as they should have been. I'm like, why are they? And I got to have 2 air conditioners running for the show and all that stuff. And what's going on? And the dog got back there where the wiring comes into the charge controllers, and I'm pretty sure he was, because they're mouse. He was chasing a mouse or something, and he disconnected the ground wire from where the 2 sets of panels combine, and then they go into a charge controller. So basically, I had 2,000 watts of solar that were not connected.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, half of my solar was disconnected all day because I got home. I'm like, it's been sunny. I'm like, how are the batteries at 77%? And yeah, that would be why. Half your solar's not even plugged in. But Kelly's asking about the fan. So wait a second. Hold on.
Oh,
Gideon's back.
we haven't
Good to
seen
see
him in
you,
a while.
Yeah.
Hey, Gideon.
Gideon,
Yeah.
he's from the other side of the planet.
Yeah. Kelly says we're up to 87% now.
That's good.
But yeah, nice to see you again, Gideon. Been a long time. Hey, middle of the night there. Yeah. Do you hey, Gideon, while you're here, let me ask you, because it's Father's Day over here in do you guys do that Father's Day thing over where you're from, or is that just kind of, I don't even know, is that an American tradition? Is it worldwide, the whole Father's Day? I don't know. But
I don't know that
Good question.
we'll see how long the lag is to see how long it takes for Gideon to respond to that.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, Greg, what do you have going on this Father's Day?
Well, you know, I got kids out of town. Travis, the one that lives the closest to me, we were joking about this before the show. He was on a Caribbean cruise with his mother on Father's Day. So, but that's okay. It's something they had planned ahead of time for a long time. And he did send me a happy birthday wish, because they were actually boarding the ship this morning. They'll be gone for a week, but it does sound kind of cool. Him and his mother and his sister.
If you want to look at the bright side, Greg, you just look at it as he's going with your ex and he didn't invite you. That's a hell of a good Father's Day.
And then the little boy, he lives in town. He, matter of fact, if Cheryl bangs on the floor 2 or 3 times, or if I hear Betty barking quite a bit, he's supposed to come by sometime after 7. So I'm thinking he's going to be here between 7 and 7:30. So I may have to bug out then. But aside from that, did get a couple cool things that Cheryl got for me. She saw me with that Red Dead Redemption that I bought used for the Xbox. And she found Red Dead Redemption 2 brand new in the box at Walmart
Nice.
for $19. It was on sale for $19. And along with that, she got me this neat little device. I already had some rechargeable batteries for the Xbox controllers, but this one has the batteries go in and a replacement back door for your Xbox controller and a little rack that holds them. And the reason the thing in the back's different is because it allows these prongs to stick out. Basically, you can sit them down and just charge them without having to mess with anything. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a charger. So you got like a charger and setting batteries in there. I got the same setup as you
Yeah.
for my controllers. Yep.
So yeah, that makes it kind of nice. Of course, I'll say one thing: double A's is what it usually takes. I think it's
Yes.
double.
It's double A's. Yep.
They've got, double A's got a lot more milliamps of power in them. Alkaline batteries will last longer than a rechargeable. Now, of course, you don't have to change them. I guess how long are you going to play? I mean, when you get done, you just set it in the thing and it's charged next time. I don't know. So that's what I got. And it's hotter than I'll get out. I did go out and smoke a pork butt. But absolutely, I just finished eating that about 15 minutes before I came down here. And man, I'm telling you what, that was actually one of the best ones I've ever done. So Betty was jumping up on my lap, yelping and barking because she wanted some. It's my own fault. I I've sneaked her food from the table before, so I created a monster. She liked the pork too, so everybody seemed happy. And the only other thing is, I stayed up a little late last night, making sure I beat Bart's score on what are those killer toads or what?
I don't know what happened. It's like, this is what happens when I'm using my left hand for the mouse. It was completely an accident. Kelly thought you said you were going to say that you smoked a bowl. Not
No, didn't do that. Not that I could. Not that it's not possible. I didn't do that. But anyway, so it's been a good day. But boy, I'll tell you what, it's not near as hot as it is down there where Bart is. But still, the humidity was high today, and it was in the upper 90s. And
yeah,
last thing I wanted to do is stand over that smoker.
Yeah. Well, it says now, I don't know, it might be partly in the sun, but my temperature gauge here is saying it's 107 out. But the humidity is 12%. So that does help. But I think when I came out, the other thermometer that's in the house, which is a little bit better, I think it was saying 105. So this 107 might be a little exaggerated. But still, anytime you start with 100 in, it's not good.
Yeah.
And I turned this air conditioner on. We got home about 3:30. So about 3:45-ish, I turned this air conditioner on out here, let it go. The show starts at 6, and it's 96 in here now. So I don't know how hot it was when we got home, but it's 96 now. Yeah, Kelly says 105. That's what the other one's saying.
Wow.
Hey, happy Father's Day, David.
Yeah, that's my boy. Holy crap. Thank you, son.
Oh, I didn't even put it together.
Oh. That's
Nice. Cool. Awesome. Good to see. It was awesome to see you did good through the boot camp and all that and made it through. And I mean, you got to see your mom and sister, and I guess your dad went, but it's awesome. Awesome. Good to see you.
Did he make you go buy food for him again? That's what I want to know.
Was there still a requirement that you have to buy him a Frosty or something, some kind of milkshake?
Yeah. Burger King and McDonald's we hit up in Texas. You could go anywhere you wanted. We wanted Texas Burger King and Texas McDonald's.
Nice.
What was it you were saying before the show started? Post something about you plugged in David's laptop or his gaming computer and smoke started coming out of it or something?
Yeah.
Try to play Minecraft.
When he spilled the second beer into it, that I think is what happened.
Milwaukee's best will do that.
I was trying to give some to the guy in Minecraft.
Right?
You were talking. I mentioned that Red Dead Redemption, which I'm not going to start number 2 until I finish number 1. But I did go ahead and put it in the Xbox, and that was a weird thing. It was a huge download again. It's like, what's on? And it's got 2 discs. Red Dead Redemption has 2. So, you had to sit there and wait, and then switch discs, then switch back to the first one. But then it reset itself. And when I went to play just to see if the game would play, it says, you must put in a disc and own this disc before it will play. And I said, well, it's in there. And it says you'll have to go to the store and buy it. And I thought I just bought it. I mean, it's a brand new disc. So I pulled it out and put it back in. It didn't recognize the disc. So finally, I just had to shut the whole Xbox down and start, the old thing. If in doubt, reboot. I reset the whole thing. It started working. So go figure.
Should have got a PlayStation.
I should have known that one was coming.
Should have bought a television.
Yeah. Or ColecoVision.
Yeah,
I will say this. Sam's Club did. We went into Sam's Club the other day, and I noticed that they had the PlayStation 5. I think they reduced the price by another $50 on that one.
Nice. You should at least get one for Bart then. At least he would play with us.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
The three things they're selling is the Xbox. You see, Xbox went up, it went back up $50. So I feel good about that. I bought it before it went up. The PlayStation went down, and the ROG Alley dropped another $100 from what I paid for it. $100.
Oh, wow.
The only problem is when I bought mine at Sam's. Oh no, I didn't buy it at Sam's. When I went to Sam's, they had it on sale, and it was not. They didn't have them.
Mhm.
So I went in there, and they said, and I bitched the people. I said, "Why do you got a big advertisement up there for it, price drop, and you got the little cards that you can take up front to get one? You'd think when those run out, they'd have one for every game." But then they said, so then the price. So I went in there yesterday, and the price had dropped $100. And I said, "Oh, did you get some in?" No. I said, "Well, then what good is the $100 price?" I mean, see my logic there. I mean, thanks for lowering it $100, but I can't get it. Can I get it online? Well, no, they're out of them there too. So, it's like putting on TV cars for a certain price. Oh, we don't have any. I mean, so Sam's Club's got a great price on those ROG Alleys, but no in stock.
Wow.
That's messed up.
It's like just try to get you in the store or advertise it, but when you come in, you won't get it, but you'll get a 50-pound bag of peanuts on your way
that
out.
sounds good too. A barrel of cheese balls.
Yeah. 50 pounds of cheese balls. That's a freaking 55-gallon drum.
I'll tell you what we've been buying with it's good though is they've had watermelon, cantaloupe, and honeydew melon. And I don't know where they're getting them from here locally. Or if they're being shipped, I don't know where they're getting them from. But I'll tell you what, these are some of the best watermelons, seedless watermelons that I've ever had. I mean, they're just sweet and good.
Nice.
So it was worth going in there just to bring another watermelon home.
What I like it at Sam's Club is those rotisserie chickens for like $5. It's like
$10 in the same store. It's $10 for a raw chicken.
Yeah, you get it cooked for you, and it's half price.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, those are good. Yeah, what else is good is those Wendy's saucy nuggets. Oh my goodness.
Oh, saucy nuggets.
Yeah, those are pretty good. What's your favorite one?
Well, so far I've tried the buffalo, and then 2 days later I tried the ghost pepper, and I think the day after that I tried the garlic parm, and they're all good so far. But I love buffalo, but
yeah,
I haven't tried the tangy barbecue one yet.
Yeah, I got the garlic parm, and Kelly got the regular. What is it? The buffalo. And I did them both with the spicy nuggets in it instead of the regulars.
Yeah.
For me, I like the garlic parm better, and Kelly liked the other one better. Which we just got 2 6-pieces. We each ate one of the other ones, and then we're like, "I'm fine with my 5." So that worked out nice. And then, but yeah, then Kelly said not the Frosties though. Kelly didn't like did you try the new Frosty yet?
I didn't try that.
It tastes a lot like blueberry yogurt.
Oh yeah.
And for Kelly, she said it was a little too much blueberry. I love blueberries, so I'm like, I ate all of mine and then ate half of hers. She told Shelby, she says, "Well, if you do get one, get a small. Don't get a large for your first try because you might not like it." I'm like, I ate a large and a half. What are you talking about, woman? But
yeah, I love blueberries. I have blueberry bushes here that I planted when we moved in here years ago. So I would probably like it.
Yeah.
What's Sean up to? There's Sean, the great gamer. At least there's no such thing as game competition. Especially I lost the game here.
Well, I think that's a follow-up to this one. He was at the Northwest Pinball and Arcade Show, Tacoma, Washington.
Oh, cool.
Oh, wow. He's in my state.
Yeah.
That's cool,
And-
Shawnee.
Yeah. Good deal. Good deal.
Good to see you too. Stop by all the time. We love seeing you, Sean.
Like Old Post Blue Milk.
Oh, No.
Yeah, they said that's a triple berry yogurt or frosty or whatever. But even when I asked the guy, because I was going to get one of them orange dreamsicles, and I'm like, "You got the orange dreamsicle?" He goes, "No, we got the triple berry." I'm like, "Was that any good?" He's like, "Tastes like a blueberry yogurt." I'm like, "Well, sign me up for that, because if I buy yogurt, I get blueberry." So I'm like, "That sounds good." But
Right.
That's the other thing that pissed me off at Sam's the other day is, the dollar yogurts they have, the frozen yogurts.
uh-huh.
2 weeks they've been saying their machine's broke. I asked the guy, when are you going to get that fixed? He says, well, it's been broke for 2 weeks. I said, not the question I asked. I didn't ask how long it's been broken. I asked when it
Yeah. Yeah, we stopped at McDonald's on our way back from Phoenix what was that, Memorial Day weekend when I went, and just pulled in just to get a milkshake, and big sign on the drive-through saying something about no ice cream. So I said, yeah, I'm guessing you don't have milkshakes either. And he's like, no, we don't have milkshakes. I'm like, then why am I here? I pulled my state for a milkshake. But yeah, so that sucks. You get all geared up. You're like, for 30 miles, I'm thinking, well, I think I told you guys, I always stop at that one Dairy Queen that's in New Mexico. And I drove by it and looked over, and I'm like, shit, there's the Dairy Queen, and I missed the exit. So from there until when we stopped was probably like an hour and a half till I got to that McDonald's. So now I'm really jonesing for a milkshake. Oh, no milkshake for us.
That must be a national trend, because I even saw a comedian on national television making a joke about, McDonald's ice cream machines are broken again, or they're always broke. So I think that's something that happens all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
But see, what really shocked me too, I'll add to that story. We went to Sam's Club. They didn't have the Rog Alley, which I already got one, but I don't know. I thought, what a great gift. See, if they'd had one, I was going to buy one for you, Poe, but they didn't have it. So the thought was there. But they didn't have the yogurt. Then I go to Sonic. Because like you, Bart, that's what made me think. I was jonesing for some type of, like a vanilla ice cream. And Betty was there, and she wanted a pup cup. So I thought, we'll go to Sonic. And I pushed the button. The gal came on the speaker and says, what do you want? I said, I want a small vanilla ice cream cone. We don't sell ice cream cones. You're an ice cream place. You don't have an ice cream cones? And they got a menu now that's just got a million. It's hard to understand the menu. There's a million things and no ice cream cones. So she says, I can put it in a bowl for you. So I got this little bowl of ice cream for $4.
Oh, Jesus.
But they did give me one almost as big of vanilla ice cream in a cup for Betty for free.
Oh.
I thought, I'm just going to come in next time and order 2 pup cups and just bark at the.
See, when I go to Dairy Queen, I always get that peanut butter parfait, but I get it to put caramel in it instead of I think it comes with chocolate, but I tell them put caramel in that bad boy.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good cup of ice cream there.
Sean mentioned that that's his favorite, and I'll tell you the one thing I like about Dairy Queen is they have the best for fast food. McDonald's, the best hamburger, in my opinion, around here anyway. They actually taste like they were grilled outside, because I think they do grill them over an open flame, and man, they're good.
Yeah, that's good. That's cool, Sean. You got a million points.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have to have all of my games of Pac-Man together to get to 1 million.
What really
He's playing-
grinds your
that
gears?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just asking Derek what grinds his gears.
well, he was doing the Family Guy thing.
Oh.
Yeah, I was just say I like that fast mode that he plays on Pac-Man. I usually do that
Yeah.
in this Pac-Man too.
Yeah. At my age, the slow regular one seems fast. Yeah.
It's like when you're playing Pac-Man on fast, it seems like he's on Viagra going around the maze grabbing the dots. So that's what I think that's going on with Pac-Man.
Nice. Nice. Well, do we want to? I know, Greg, you hinted on it a little bit. Do we want to talk about the tournaments from this last week?
Sure. I stayed up a little extra late last night, just knowing that Bart goes to bed early because he works the weekends. And when I beat his score, I couldn't wait to put it up and put a little note on there saying, "Wait till Bart wakes up."
Yeah,
I threw
I
him
saw
in
that.
the last place. I threw him in the last place. And then I took, who was that? Was it in the pinball? I think I knocked T-Dog down a notch. I think I passed him. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Now T-Dog, he threw down here on this Battletoads.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Poe was snuck in a game also after I went to bed last night.
Yeah, that was pretty late.
Cheater. That's for you, T-Dog. Sorry.
Yeah. If it wasn't for T-Dog's score up there, Poe's score looks really good. But
Oh, yeah.
T-Dog just laid down a hurting on all of us.
Oh, yeah.
D-Dog 52 had a good game, 146. Derek at 122. Derek's in the middle of the pack. What's this all about?
Cheater.
Mike.
And he said he's not good at this game.
Yeah. Greg snuck in at the last minute after I went to bed and gets a 74-250. But I got to back up here. Wait a second. Let me get over here because we see, I don't know if you guys can read that. All submissions after I go to bed get a 1,000 point submission. You ended at 73-250. You were so close. You almost had me.
Bring up that spreadsheet just before that, though. I was at 73. I was 1,000 points behind you. I mean, there was one point where I was just exactly one, and it was driving me nuts. And I've been playing all these challenges too. I've been playing on the ROG Alley, the handheld thing, because it works so well on those emulations on Steam using RetroArch. And the only reason I went that way, Derek asked me about that, instead of using CoinOps, is because you're limited on your storage space on those handhelds. And man, using the CoinOps on there ate up half a drive, whereas playing it on the on Steam, the only thing you really need is your ROMs. Everything else, Steam's kind of, you're using Steam's stuff or whatever.
Yeah. Well, Derek here, he was commenting because we mentioned that he was about halfway up the pack, but he said, "Don't worry, Pitbull is next," which leads us directly into the big Texas Chainsaw. And DCON 52, otherwise known as AKA GTH 2370, with a big score, 43 million. I ended up with 29.8, and Greg, you almost got me there, 28.9.
I know, that was another one that was driving.
Dyslexic moment away. If you'd have just had a little T-Dog at the 15 million, and then Derek, the pillar at the bottom of the pile at 3.4. But you're still above Mike because he's not on there. So, and yet again, I'm going to take it out of here. I don't know if you guys can see this stuff, but I was telling, I told T-Dog, good job on the tournament. T-Dog, I'm a little disappointed that you let Greg score higher than you, but at least you made sure Derek was at the bottom, so it's all good. So I was kind of saying, it's okay, Greg scored higher than T-Dog, but that's good. And then I go to the other one and see that Greg snuck in and spanked me after I'm in bed. So, yeah, I thought, I'm talking smack because I stayed ahead of him here. But that was Texas Chainsaw on Pinball M. And, we had 5 people play. So that's not too bad, but it's not, we've had.
I just wanted to say, too, I noticed stop, don't move anything right now. I noticed T-Dog wrote, "Oh, wow, seriously, have no idea how, but great job." And I want to address that to T-Dog. I'm telling you what, I played that game over and over and over again and could only get $4 or $5 million, 4 or 5 million points. But there's some point where I was playing and I happened to be on ball one when I beat my last score of 5 million or something. And then all of a sudden, if you're in that game long enough, you hit something. And I went from like 5 million to 18 million in like a few seconds. I don't know what I did, but I hit some triple, quadruple scoring stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And next thing I know, I saw is in the 20 millions. And when I drained that last ball, I got really excited. I said, I think I got it. And then if you'd have been there to see the look on my face when I looked at the scoreboard and realized I was like 1.5 million behind him, I thought that could just be one extra shot.
Right.
I mean,
right.
So
His follow-up to that was that his fingers are still recovering from the score he got. So anyone above him may need to seek medical attention for their fingers. Yeah. It's a hard game. I don't know the rules yet. So I'm like you, Greg. I think on this 29 mate, I hit something. I got in a good scoring mode and hit some shots, and it was throwing up a few million here and a few million there. Because most of my games were closer to Derek's score than mine. But,
that's the way mine were. And I think there was something I hit. It gives you all this crap to read. Well, you're trying not to drain the ball, so you can't read, what it says on the DMD. But I think I saw something on there that said 20 times scoring or something. If you get a 200,000 shot and it's 20 times scoring, that's 2 million, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, 4 million. I don't know. It's a lot. You're right.
Yeah, it's a lot. So, but yeah, I like the table though. I just haven't learned it yet. But
since we're talking tournaments and stuff, is this a good segue into the video on what's coming up?
Sure.
Sounds good. Sounds good to me.
Okay, let me find it.
All
Now,
right.
I hope all the questions are answered in this, but that's why I'm wanting to show it early so we can talk about it and give explanations, answer any questions. And if you still don't understand it, well, probably better sell your pinball stuff. I don't know. Okay, everybody, here we go. It's time to announce the Spring 2024 tournament. I know some of you are saying, hey, it's summer already. Well, no, it's not. It's still spring until the summer solstice, which is just a couple days away. We did a tournament fall of 2023. We said we'd bring you one spring of 2024, and we're doing it. So here we go. This time we're doing Pinball FX. We're only doing 5 weeks because we want to experiment with how well Pinball FX is going to work for us. We didn't want to go the full 10 weeks, so it's going to be a 5-week tournament with 2 weeks of playoffs at the end. It's going to score the same way we've done in the past. 4 points for first place, 3 points for second, 2 points for third, and 1 point just for showing up. There's no cash prize or anything this year, but the winner will receive one of our trophies that we've given out in the past. We've actually given out 4 trophies so far. So it's all for fun, bragging rights, and a trophy to put on the top of your pinball machine or in your game room or whatever you like. So anyway, also we're playing this since we're playing on FX. Switch does not play well with the others. As a matter of fact, it does not cross over on the tournament side of the games. So what we will be doing is we will be running 2 tournaments. Bart will set one up and I will set one up. One on the Switch, one on all others, Xbox, PlayStation, PC, Epic, Steam, however. Anyway, we will set up separate ones. They will always start on Sundays. Bart and I will start those sometime before the show starts on Sundays. You just have to check. It definitely will be announced on the show, along with the code that you'll need. We'll also put that in the Discord. The code that you need to find the table. I know FX, instead of looking by name, Off-Grid or G-Parker, you got to have that code. And also, the password will be the same for both tournaments, Switch or other, and it will be The Show. Lowercase, all run together, no space. THESHOW, all lowercase. Let's take a look at the tables that we are going to be playing. since we are experimenting with Pinball FX, we're getting this word out early so you can get the tables, practice if you want. That the first week we're going to go with the football. I've got the notes written down here and my screen timed out. It's Super Football League, and everybody should have that if you download it. Remember, Pinball FX is free. If you download
football
Pinball FX, you will get this table for free. So you should be able to play right off the bat. Let's take a look at Super Pinball League. And let's...
On paper, their opponents are quite solid, but results recently suggest a mid-table finish is likely. Calmly dealt with by the keeper.
Week 2, Kong.
Buckle up for the ride. Let's go.
Week 3, Snoopy's Pinball. Week 4, Brother in Arms. Week 5, The Mandalorian. Star Wars. Okay, remember, this tournament is starting this week. It runs for 5 weeks. We're playing on the Switch and what I'm calling Other. It's all going to be the same password, The Show, lowercase, no space. We will give you the codes to find the tables here on the show and in our Discord, so be sure to check that out if you missed that on the show each week. Each week, the games will begin sometime on Sunday. The information will be put on Discord. They'll be definitely started by the time the show starts. Make sure you pay attention to when they end, because they might end at different times, and don't want you missing out on getting to play if you're holding off to the last minute. So there you go. Also, you will be able to, we don't care if you play on both platforms. We will take the higher of the 2 scores, because we're going to meld the scores together each week. The tournament will run for 5 days, starting on Sunday. That gives us time to get the scores off of each device and put a spreadsheet together so everybody's competing against everybody else. So there you go. If you're playing on both platforms, though, and you're using a different username for Switch and for the others, make sure you let us know, because there's no playing as 2 different people. You have to declare to us what your names are, your screen names. Let us know in the Discord. Let us know here on the show. Somehow get that word to us. Anyway, let's get back to the show, everybody. And we'll, if anybody's got any questions, you can ask them here in the chat. Back to the show. One thing I just want to add real quick is there's unlimited plays on these first 5 weeks. As best I know. That's the plan right now. But when we move into the playoffs the last 2 weeks, or if even during this first 5 weeks we decide to limit the number of play, you will not be able to play on 2 devices. You can't play 3 times on, if it's 3 times on the Switch, 3 times on your Xbox or your other device. So what we'll do is, if we find that you do that, it's fine, but we're going to take the lower of the 2 scores, so to try to keep you from doing that. Now, Right now, we don't care because it's unlimited play. So it doesn't matter if you want to play 100 times on your Xbox, 100 times on your PlayStation, and Epic Steam. So it's fine. Just got to know who you are. Because I think it's DK, that one fellow that's with us all the time, does a great job. I think he's got 2 different screen names, but I think Bart was unclear who he was at one time. So that's it. That's all I got. Looks like it'll be fun. We wanted to make it short because we don't know. We didn't want to commit to 10 weeks and find out nobody's playing because it's FX.
Right. I do got to correct you though, Greg, on that. The World League Football, the soccer table that we're playing first, that was only free for a limited time. So if you had it on PC, whether it was Steam or Epic, you had a whole month to get it for free. But the other consoles, you only had 1 week to get it for free. So now that table, I think it costs $5.49 or whatever, the normal price for a single table.
Okay, I forgot about that. That's right. I did get it for free, but I remember that's the one I griped about because when I got the Xbox, they didn't even give it to me for free on the Xbox. Maybe I missed the time, but I don't think I did.
And I just got a notification that the information for the tournament is in the Discord right now. Derek just posted it already. So,
okay. Thank you, Derek. I got a question for Derek real quick. Are we going to keep our information on this under the pinball tourneys, I guess? You know, you've got another one that nobody can post on. It's just information about the main pinball tournament.
Yeah, there's the one that's the main pinball tourney.
Yeah, but you can't comment on that one. That's just information. Try to go on that and try to comment. There's no way you can comment. It's just an announcement board.
It says you do not have permissions to send messages in this channel.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, well, Derek can, obviously, because he just posted something. So I could send him, when I'm putting spreadsheets together. Now, these weekly, week-to-week stuff we've been doing with the arcade challenges and console challenges and stuff, I've been doing the spreadsheets as people post their scores. I put up a spreadsheet as fast as I can. But for these weekly tournaments, it's not going to be that way. I might, if I have time or think about it, I might put one up in midweek just so people know what it's looking like between, because the people that play on the one aren't going to be able to see the other people's scores if they're playing Switch. People playing PlayStation can't see Xbox. So we might do 1 or 2 during the week, but that's really if we have time, because the people that played before in these longer, the 10-week tournaments and all that, you kind of just found out at the end because we didn't have all the Discord stuff going. So each week we will announce who won and what the points are and all that stuff. So it'll probably be, if we do anything during the week, it'll just be a screen grab of the current leaderboards. And you guys will have to do the math on where you're sitting with everybody else. But
Sure.
Yeah, I'm not going to do the full spreadsheet, every day, multiple times a day, like I kind of do with the other ones. So, yeah.
And you'll find out, and we'll definitely have a segment on the show each week.
Right.
And like we're doing now, I will always try to put, scrolling across the bottom of the screen, the code and the password so you don't have to hunt and peck during the show to find it if this is the way you're getting your information, because, you won't have to scrub through the video. It'll always be rolling along the bottom. So you join late, you'll find it. If you leave early, you'll still find it.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going, Cannabis?
Hey, Cannabis.
Hey, man.
Oh, Gideon. Gideon. Have you played yet the Nebraska DLC? Gideon. I just recorded my last video of finishing the Nebraska event. So
I've even got 5. I think I've got 5 out of 12 on the Nebraska event.
But yeah, and I'm loving Nebraska. I think they did a great job on Nebraska. And one thing I'm loving about Nebraska, not that I want to get away from the pinball tournament, but he mentioned it. There's only the one interstate that goes across Nebraska, so there's a lot of driving on the 2-laners, and I just like those drives because you see the scenery better. You're seeing these little towns. It's not just driving on the interstate. They kind of say that old saying, and when you're traveling in the United States, when you travel on the interstate, you see a lot of the interstate. and you get off the beaten path on the smaller roads, you see more of the countryside.
Right.
So, but yeah. Anyway, Derek's asking about. I think we can just chat about the tournament and stuff in the normal channel where we've been doing it, and then the one where Derek just put the information, the main pinball tourney. Derek can post the information. That way it doesn't get buried. People can just look up there. They can see it. It's not a wall of text that they have to scroll through. And if we want, we can figure out if Derek could post the screenshots of the tournament. If I post them on the thing, he could repost it there. But I don't think we need to flood the main pinball tournament chat room.
Right.
Other stuff. I think it's better to just keep the information. And then maybe Derek, when we finish each week and I get the official spreadsheet with whose points and all that, he could post that there too. So people can see where the spreadsheet is, where it's sitting, and then the next week's information on how to log in. So it basically would be login information, finals for that, the final scores and where it's standings, then the next week's information, then the standings. So it's not cluttered with chat and Poe calling people cheaters.
And I want to jump in and say, too, one of the reasons, if you're new, there's people who have been here and played before in our tournaments, but the scoring system, I just kind of wanted to explain that. Like I said, it's 4, 3, 2, and 1. 4 for first, 3 for second, 2 for third, and 1 for just showing up. The reason we did that is we wanted to encourage participation. So let's say out of this 5 weeks, you play every week. Well, you're going to get 5 points. Well, if some guy wins first place one week and then doesn't win at all, you beat that guy. I mean, there's all kinds of different ways. And of course, the longer we run it, the more that can happen, which we decided to do short. But we pretty much make it pretty simple to get into the playoffs. And the playoffs is what counts, because then we start playing a little skullduggery, I guess you'd call it, because I remember the last one, it was 1 ball, 1 try. So, I don't care how good you are. All you got to do is drain. You're done.
Yeah.
And Bart, myself, my wife, and Kelly may all play. You'll see their scores, but when it comes down to the end, no matter where they're at, they will not participate in the playoffs. The only ones that will participate are Bart and I, but only because we have to start a game to start the tournament, but our score won't count.
And this is kind of a test. I think, I don't remember if you mentioned it in your video, but Greg and I are kind of testing the Pinball FX versus FX3. That's part of the reason it's a shortened season. See how it goes. I know not everybody has all the tables on FX, and so a lot of people have a lot more tables on FX3. So we may go back to FX3 if this doesn't work out. And we're kind of limited on the tables because not all the tables are available on the Switch either. So we might have to refigure that if people are liking the FX and we want to go on. We may have to figure out what we're going to do with the Switch, because some of the tables I wanted to put in this tournament are not available, like the Grim Tales. It's not available on the Switch, so we can't play that in this tournament. So if you're wondering why or how we picked the tables that we picked, we wanted to pick tables that we'd never done before and are FX exclusive, but also were available on the Switch and PC and Xbox and everything. So that's how we came up with the game list.
We started setting this up. Bart and I met and kind of put our heads together on this, and we said, man, let's do FX3. It's simple. Then we got to picking games, and I said, holy crap, I'm tired of this game. So I sent a message to Mike and Poe, mainly because I wanted to draw them in too, which they were helpful. And all Poe could come up with was he wanted to play Fishtails and Tesla for the whole thing. And I said, no, that's not going to happen. We let you get away with that crap on these weekly challenges, but no. That's what made us make the decision to change.
Yeah,
And I'm just kidding.
yeah. So we'll see how this goes. And, let us know either in the comments right now during this video or in the Discord. If you don't have a lot of FX tables, we can talk. We can chat pinball. Go in the pinball chat room if you want to just talk about your thoughts. FX3 versus FX, why you like one better than the other, what your thoughts are. But I think it'll be interesting, this one. And I really like, you'll notice none of the tables we picked are Williams tables. That wasn't necessarily like a middle finger to Williams. It was just we played Williams tables and FX3 for years, and we picked tables that were brand new with FX. So
Another thing I like is with if FX3, you can't play Star Wars. Star Wars is a separate program on FX3 with the Switch. You have to buy the Star Wars program. At least now with FX, we can pick some Marvel tables. We can pick some Star Wars tables. Some of those weren't available to us on FX3. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think that's the way it was. So
that is correct.
it was a lot. There was a lot.
We never included Star Wars or Marvel because they weren't available on the Switch. So, I mean, they're available, but not in FX3. So
To be able to play tournaments with, and a crossover with.
right, yeah. So anyway, I think it's
And plus, Zen, I think Zen contacted, Poe's related to somebody that works at Zen. I know he's from over there somewhere. His family is. I think a guy named Lars over there that he's related to. He's the head janitor. I don't know. I think Lars said he'd kind of line Poe's pockets if we made sure we got you guys out there buying FX pinball tables. But that's between that's between Poe and Zen Studios. I know nothing about it. I know nothing. No, nothing.
All I know is, Lars is over there. He's that head janitor at Zen Studios, and he got Mike all excited. He thought there was going to be a logger table, but he was just talking about cleaning the toilets. And, we'll have to see. We'll have to talk with old Lars and find out if we can get some more Switch tables and get them so they can link up with the other tournaments. And I know, Greg, we could talk about this since we're talking about these tournaments. You and I, during these week-to-week random ones, whenever there was an FX tournament, we both played them on both Switch and I never got a feeling like, oh yeah, every time I play it on the Switch, I'm going to do better than I do on Steam, or vice versa. Some of the tables I did better on Steam, and some of them I do better on Switch. So it's not like, to me, there was no clear advantage. Yeah, anyone who plays on Switch with its different physics is just going to wipe the floor with us. I might beat my own score. One table, it's one way, and the other table, it's the other, just like any other table. I might have a great score on one table, and then I play Tesla, and I know I'm bad because Poe beat me. But
God forbid Derek beat you, but I mean, you're right. I mean, I just don't understand. I could see, lie to me. Tell me it's something to do with Nintendo. They didn't want to allow this bullshit to happen or something. Just give us something about physics. I mean, unless you got your head way up your butt and think you're really that good. I mean, what difference does it?
Right.
Derek's right. It's just like playing on PlayStation 5 graphics. I mean, it's real. Oh, one. I'm an Xbox guy, so I get it. The graphics on PlayStation.
Unfortunately, there are some people that take all this stuff way too seriously. Even when I get it. If you're a professional gamer, whether it's pinball or PlayStation, Xbox, or playing some game professionally and there's money on the line. But when you're just playing in freaking pinball tables made by some dude you don't even know who lives in some country you've never been to, what do you care if they got different physics than you? Just play the game and have fun. And but let's see. Cannabis said, wish they would release his favorite pinball table for FX. Elton John, Captain Fantastic, and the Brown Dirt Cowboy, 76 Bally. Yeah.
And I agree with that, Cannabis Kid. That would be great, but I'll tell you what, I don't understand why they can't do that. What's that one with melons in it?
Whoa, Nelly.
Whoa, Nelly. Whoa, Nelly. Now that's a game they need to have.
That should be in there. Yeah, especially the unedited version that you can get for BPX. That's the version. It could be on Pinball M. I'm just saying, because it is big juicy melons aplenty. But it's in a watermelon patch. What are you guys thinking? I don't know what you're giggling about. But
That's right. What's wrong with everybody?
now, what are your thoughts, Mike, on the FX versus FX3? Because you don't have all the tables, do you?
No, but I will be buying them, so I'll get that soccer one since that's the first one. So I'm actually excited. That way I can just buy them when we have the tournaments. So that way I can just get a table, because I've been meaning to kind of get the FX tables and stuff. So I'm excited to get them.
The nice thing is too is if you buy the Mandalorian, I think if you're going to buy that, which is one of the last ones we play, that's like a 2-for or a 3-for or something like that. When you buy the Mandalorian, it comes with 2 or 3 others, and it's not that much more than a single table. I mean, they don't double the price to buy 2 or 3. It's usually $5 to buy 1 and $9 to buy 3. So
Yeah.
that kind of is a big sweet.
And unfortunately, though, I do think that a lot of these tables that we picked, and it wasn't designed that way, they are part of packs. Kong is part of that Kong Godzilla pack. But all 3 tables I thought were great. So for me, it was worth it. The Brother in Arms is part of a pack. But I thought it was worth it, even for just that table. I like that Brothers in Arms table a lot.
And we'll take that into consideration.
Snoopy's individual. I think Mandalorian comes. There's 2 tables that come with that Mandalorian. And what's the other one? The soccer's an individual. So
Nice.
We can take that into consideration. Next time we do a tournament, if this FX goes over good, we'll try to pick some of the tables that you would have gotten if you bought, like if you buy a Mandalorian, we want to play another Star Wars table, we'll play the other one, whatever one that came with it.
right.
Happy Father's Day.
Yeah. Poe got his Atari jacket. It's he ordered it right after he got his Atari 2600 Pac-Man, brand new, and he ordered his jacket, and it came in last week.
Didn't they get signed by the creator of Pac-Man, Atari 2600, on the back of the jacket? I'm jealous.
Only for Retro Bliss.
Yeah, but he did it in black marker, and it's a black jacket, so you can't see it unless you do it.
The green light. Put a green light to it.
When did you order that jacket, Poe?
Oh gosh, I think that was like October. It was October. And it's just funny that I did ballistics shit. Yeah, I did ballistics interview, and then Retro Bliss Rewind, and I'm complaining about it. And like the day after ballistics show aired, with me crying around about it, the mailman handed it to me on the front porch. And Atari just sent me an email that same morning. I was going to Pittsburgh to the hospital. I got an email saying your jacket has shipped. And then I got home and walked out on the porch, and the mailman's there, and he's like, "Here you go." And I'm like, "Wow, guess it was kind of quick shipping there, Atari."
Wow.
Kind of.
Yeah, they don't mess around. You get on Bliss's show and ballistics the same within a 2-week period. That gets shit done. They say we can't mess with this Poe guy. He's big time now. So
Big time.
I can't help it.
They must be in Pittsburgh.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Go ahead.
sorry.
No, you go.
Okay, I said they must be in Pittsburgh if that was that quick.
Yeah, they
Right?
moved their headquarters to my town now because of all the crying around it.
right.
Now, I noticed your shirt, Poe, and I'm thinking, we're doing this pinball tournament this fall. We're going to do maybe another tournament. Maybe we could do some type of promotion where we give away turkeys or something, like drop them from a helicopter.
Yeah, right out of the helicopter.
Yeah, I just
Oh, the
noticed.
humanity.
Right. Such a good show that was.
We'll see if anybody in the chat section knows what the hell I'm talking about. That's some old shit. But guys, the floor got tapped on. I know I got to stay the whole show the last couple of weeks, but this week Father's Day, and that means I haven't heard the dog barking, so he must have just pulled in the driveway or he's sneaking in. Maybe he's just sneaking in, but I think it's time for me to go upstairs. Have a good one. Have a happy Father's Day. There's your tournament information. Enjoy these guys. They'll put a smile on your face. We'll see y'all next time.
Happy Father's Day, Greg.
Happy Father's Day.
Guys, have a good one.
So you did. Oh, you cash apped Greg's wife and told her tap on the floor. Tap on the floor. Get him off the show. I thought you were kidding when you said that. Kelly says, "Night, Greg. He's already gone. He's probably half asleep already." Yeah. So you order the jacket rolling into the wintertime, and they send it to you right as summer's coming in. So that's
right.
convenient. That's
And
convenient.
everybody over here on this side of the country is getting that extreme heat warning for this whole entire week, like Pittsburgh, Boston, everybody. Perfect time.
Yeah. I think it's most of the country. I know you guys are under that extreme heat warning up there, but I know it's been hot in the hundreds plus here. And I saw this morning, because I watched a lot of the weather. Well, it's not the Weather Channel. It's AccuWeather, whatever.
AccuWeather, yep.
And they were saying there was a chance. I didn't do a follow up. Maybe Kelly will look it up and see. They were saying Phoenix might get to 113 today, which would break a 129-year record for the temperature on this day. So it's just kind of brutal all across from the Southwest all the way up, and now it's making it up there to the Northeast. And I know you guys up there. The bad part is down here we're used to it, and we're prepared for it. You don't find houses in Phoenix that don't have air conditioning.
Right.
You get up in your neck of the woods, there are people that don't even have air conditioning, and you start getting in those high temperatures. Kind of same with you, right, Mike? When it gets super hot up there in the Northwest, people up there, not everybody has air conditioning in their home. You get some 100+ degrees.
Yeah, we scream in panic and we go ahead to Mount St. Helens. We're not used to like very hot weather. I know when we hit like 100 one time and then 95, everybody just like nobody wants to go out. They're just inside their homes with their ACs if they had AC. But yeah, even me, I like if the AC wasn't working, I'd probably go to my work because it has nice AC in there. It's very cold in my office because I work in the dungeon anyway. So yeah. That's
I
right.
know Kelly's mom and dad, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, they had to go out and buy a rollaway air conditioner unit for their apartment because the apartment complex doesn't have air conditioning units. And so they got one of those, and you got to run the pipe outside for the exhaust and all that stuff. But yeah, you start getting up to 105 degrees up around Seattle and Portland and all that. They're just not used to it up there. People aren't ready for it. So yeah, Kelly said it's 109 in Phoenix right now.
One of the best places, though, I kind of notice lots of business go to these people when it gets really hot. It's Baskin Robbins up there. You see lines of cars. If I pass, it's like really hot. Like, oh, there's where everybody's at Baskin Robbins.
Right. See, Ballistic, he's down here in Texas too, he's in New Mexico, right? Albuquerque. Southwest swamp coolers, they help. But once you get to a certain temperature, if the humidity gets too high, well, they just make it miserable. There you go. For those that don't know what a swamp cooler is, water dripping on a wet pad. Basically, it uses, as water evaporates, it cools the air. And it works really good at low humidity and not so good at high humidity because it does add, it has to evaporate. Otherwise, you just end up even hotter and more humid. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Did you?
I usually, if it gets that hot, I just wear a thong into the grocery store freezer section and I just lay on the fish sticks and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Did you guys ever see like those?
That ain't a fish stick. Don't be
You guys ever seen that portable air conditioning unit that you would have to fill up with ice?
Oh yeah.
And it has like a catch basin at the bottom. I know my mom used to have one of those at her trailer, and I would have to be the one. She'd call me, and I'd go over there and fill it with ice, and then I have to empty it. It's like where's all the water go? It's at this bottom tray. It's like, oh, there's gonna be. So yeah, and I think it only lasts for one day if it's like really hot out, and then I'd have to refill her air conditioning till I finally, when I got my job working at the college, then it's like, yeah, I got money to buy her an air conditioning unit, the wall one, or I mean the one that goes out the window, and I bought her that. It's like, yeah, I'm not gonna change out your ice cube air conditioning unit anymore. So here.
Yeah, that's what we have here at the house. I just have window units that I framed a hole in the wall, so it's mounted into the wall.
Yeah,
but, they work pretty good. They work pretty good. Yeah, and I know, Gideon's talking about, most of the houses over there don't have air conditioning. I remember last summer there was that heat wave that went through England, and all of Great Britain, people were dying because, it gets up into that 100 degrees, and whatever the math works out for them Celsius, you're up in the 40s, getting close to 50 C. Yeah, it's too much, and people aren't used to it. But so at least down here in the Southwest, it's pretty rare that you find a house that doesn't have air conditioning or places you can go. But then you have brownouts because too many people are running their air conditioning, or flat out blackouts. Now nobody has air. So that can be bad. Go out, sit in the car, let the car run while you're running the car AC.
Yep.
But,
breathing in that nice carbon monoxide too.
right. Yeah. Houses are built for winter up there. Yeah. We tried to build ours for the medium, because that's kind of how it is here. I say, now my thermometer outside is saying 110. I know it's in the sun now, but it's over 100. But I grew up in Phoenix, so I'm used to hot. Hey, Chaos is here. What's up, Chaos?
Hey, Chaos.
Yeah, take ice cold shower some days. It's funny in Phoenix. The running thing there is when you are in the summertime, from here on through like August, you can't take a cold shower because even the water coming out of the pipe is warm. So you're not getting a scalding hot shower, but it ain't cold.
Right.
And the worst part, that's fine. You can take a warm shower. It's not as cooling and refreshing. It sucks, though, when you brush your teeth and you're rinsing your mouth with a cup of warm water. Or if you're just thirsty, you can't just get it out of the tap because the water coming out of the tap is too hot.
Here it's the humidity all summer long is what's killer. And so I take a shower after getting back. Usually I take a shower at work, but if I do yard work here, I take another shower. I'll start it off hot to get all that mill, dirt, and grease from the steel mill off. But then before I get out, I put it on, I start going cooler and cooler until it's almost cold, just so that I don't step out of the shower and start pouring down sweat again from the humidity.
Right. So. Yeah. But it's funny when I talk about humidity and I lived most of my life in Arizona. I'm used to the desert and stuff like that. And I take a hot shower and you get out of the shower and you just do this and the mirror would unfog. And then I moved to Florida and 3 days later, the mirror is still fogged.
You're right. Right.
But I took a shower on Friday when I got home from work. Here it is, 2 days later, I'm lounging on the couch being lazy and the mirror's still fogged. But, yeah, so I do much better with heat than I do with humidity.
Yeah.
But the older I'm getting, I don't handle heat so good anyway. I get overheated quickly. But I can handle cold weather a lot better. I think that's because I got padding. As I got older, I got larger, so I can take the cold. But I don't do so good with heat anymore.
Yeah, that's the same with me. I like cold places. I mean, surprisingly, I came from Hawaii. That's pretty warm, but it's dry. It's not like moist down there. But yeah, the only place it was way too cold for me when I was stationed up in Illinois. That was way too cold, especially when I'm like, what? You gotta wear stuff for your ears, and then I was told like if you step out in the cold, don't spit, and also try to not get your eyes, leave them open out. You got to try to blink as much as possible. And then I was like walking in that cold, and it's like, dude, my eyeballs hurt. It's like I had to run to the bus because then it'd take us to the mall, and then just warm up there. And it's just like, man, how do people survive? I'm surprised. When you walk someplace, you don't just freeze where you're at. So it felt too cold to me when I was over there during the winter time.
Yeah, it was like that in North Dakota when I was stationed there, and everybody liked to do the trick where you boiled water and hurried up and ran outside and threw it.
Makes snow.
And it would just like, as soon as it comes out of the pot, we would have the house temperature cranked in the house, but there would still be frost on the inside doorknob because it's 30 below outside, Yeah. But once it got to be above zero, that was barbecue weather. There's guys outside in shorts with their grill going, "Hey neighbor," it's like 2 degrees out.
Now, I was never in North Dakota, but I lived in South Dakota for 2 years when my parents took us from Phoenix to Rapid City, out of the frying pan into the freezer. And I tell you, I've never been as cold in my life as I was in South Dakota. And I did 4 months in Iceland. It's like, it is cold up there. And Kelly could tell you, when we were up in Colorado, I'd go all winter and not wear a coat. I just wore my hoodie. It was lined. I had a lined hoodie, but that was my coat for going outside. It's like, people are like, how can you be outside just wearing that hoodie? It's like, for one, I'm not out. If it's cold and snowy blizzard conditions, because we're up 8,000 feet in the mountains, I'm not spending a lot of time out there. But if I'm just walking from my car to Walmart, I don't need a heavy coat to step through there. The car has heat. Walmart has heat, So all winter long, I just wore a hoodie. So I do much better in cold. And I love it down here because we're in Texas. And so they think it's cold if it gets down to 30. And I'll go in just wearing my hoodie, not even a lined hoodie, and they're all bundled up inside. They're still wearing their coats. I'm like, what's wrong with you people? But they think I'm crazy because they'll have the heat cranked in the hotel, so it's hot. And when I was covering the kitchen for Kelly when she was up in Oregon, man, that kitchen get super hot. And then I'd go walking outside. It's like probably around 40 degrees at that time of the morning. And I'm out there in just my T-shirt because I'm so overheated and I want to cool off. And the front desk guy was wearing his heavy parka coat sitting at the desk. And he's like, how are you going outside? I'm like, because I'm hot. So let's see. Chaos, dry cold will shrink the ball. Yeah, the eyeballs. The eyeballs, people.
Yeah, the eyeballs.
Keep
blinking.
Atari 2600 Pac-Man cools you down. Unless you are Retro Bliss, then it just gets your blood boiling. Yeah. Let's see. Gideon wears a T-shirt at 24. F. 20. Oh, I thought you were just cussing Poe there. Yeah. That's my favorite. That's my favorite saying is when it starts getting cold, I always tell Kelly, what are you going to do when winter comes? Because she's already starting to bundle up. But Kelly's littler than I am, so she gets cold fast. I say that to the people. I said, because they will. They'll start wearing their heavy coat, and it's like October going into November. It's like, it's still getting up in the 80s here. Why you guys have a heavy coat? Yeah. Yeah, I was actually in Jacksonville, Florida one year when it snowed. And oh my gosh, you should have seen those people. Shut the whole city down because we got a 1/4 inch of snow. Just ridiculous. But I don't think anything was as bad as Arkansas. Jason missed a whole week of school. Well, 4 out of the 5 days on a weather report that snow was possible. They canceled school, didn't snow. But it's going to snow tomorrow. Canceled school Tuesday, didn't snow. It's going to snow tomorrow. Canceled. And And up in Arkansas, I worked at the grocery store then, and we call it the French toast apocalypse. Whenever they called for snow, because everyone came to the store, bought all the milk, eggs, and bread. You guys were just here. You bought 3 gallons of milk, 2 loaves of bread, and 3 dozen eggs 3 days ago. What are you buying again? Well, they're saying it's going to snow. It's like, so drink that milk you just bought. Yeah. It's pretty crazy. Ballistic. Your dad's from Little Rock. Nice. Yeah, I did almost 12 years in Arkansas, and I had enough of the humidity. Had to come back to the Southwest. Yeah, Kelly, so crazy talking about the French toast apocalypse and how. But in their defense with the school cancellations, they're not built for snow, so it is bad. And there's it was a very rural area with a lot of dirt roads that the buses would have to drive down. So they were like, kids would get to school and there's no way to get them back home. So
that actually did happen to us one year, first grade. We got snowed in at the school, and parents had to come get the kids. And my dad had a Dodge Aspen wood grain station wagon, the rear-wheel drive. So trying to get home. We're just like this all over the place. Yeah, we got stuck at the school till after dark. That was crazy.
We had one of those when we were up in Rapid City. My dad was at work, and all 4 of the doors froze. He had to pop the hatch and climb over the seats.
Yes, they were terrible for that. Yeah.
See, talking about the snow days, though, I grew up in Phoenix up until we moved. It was 8th grade when I got to Rapid City. I did 8th and 9th grade, and I heard of these mythical things called snow days. Being in Phoenix, we're like, "What are you talking snow days?" So I get up to Rapid City. Winter's rolling around. I wake up one morning. There's 2 feet of snow on the ground. So I turn on the radio station because that's how you used to have to do it. You turn on the radio and you listen to that station. 1 hour delay. I'm like, what are you talking? What? There's 2 feet of snow, and we had a 1 hour delay.
That used to piss us off, especially my brother the most, because you would be listening. And the town I was from was called Vandergrift. The town I'm in now is Leechburg, and then you had Apollo was the next town over. They're all right next to each other. Well, you would hear Apollo Ridge School District, 2 hour delay. Then you'd hear Leechburg School District, 2 hour delay. Well, I went to Kiski School. It's like nothing for Kiski. My brother's like, son of a bitch! They live right across the river. Why do they have a 2 hour delay? We gotta go.
Yeah. It was crazy. It was crazy that it felt like if you looked out the window and could still see the stop sign, you're going to school that day. It's like you needed to have, 6 feet of snow. Now, I think it was like 3 to 4 feet was when they would flat out cancel school in Rapid City. The 1 foot hour delay at most. Two
yeah, you betcha.
Like a 2 hour delay.
Going on to listen for the 2 hour delays and stuff like that. You had to wait. If you missed your school, then you had to wait until they went the whole way through all the school districts.
Right.
And listed yours again.
Yeah. Yeah. And if they read them off in the same order and you turn on the radio and you hear the one that's always after you, you're like, son of a. And
it was just so much easier when my kids went because I signed up for the text message from the news stations and they would send it right to my phone. So if I was on midnight shift at the mill, I knew before the kids did that they had a 2 hour delay or school was canceled in the morning.
Yeah. See, now, Mike, I know you and I, we went to some of the same Navy bases, different years, because in case people don't realize I'm a little older than Mike. But did you ever go up to Keflavik in Iceland?
No. No, I've never been to Iceland before. I think I went to Kosovo, and that was a pretty cold place. I know we had to have like we had to have our thermal wear to wear, which I still have. If it's winter here in Washington, I'll still wear that stuff. I still fit in it because it's still stretchy. But and then Gore-Tex jacket to go outside there because the snow was like up to like my belt line. And I'm like walking through this with my M16. I'm like, dang, man. And then it's like, yeah, you need to go out and patrol. I'm like, how are we going to go through? And then, of course, we had the piece of equipment with the plow. So we just follow that because we had to go clear out landmines. and stuff on our route to like Skopje when we were up there. But yeah, good times. I've never seen that much snow in my life. I'm like, "Geez." And then the houses the people live in are like I guess like kind of like stucco or something. It's not wood because wood's very rare in Kosovo. And I'm like, how do they live in that kind of stuff? Because it's probably really cold down there and stuff. And of course, our buildings, we didn't have insulation. We built the base, and it's just a wooden building with no insulation. So when you get off work, there's no heat, so you're still in your Gore-Tex jacket, shivering on your bed and stuff. And then lots of jokes with the guys like, "Hey, I'll cuddle up next to you." Like, no, hell no. Go sleep in your own bunk.
Yeah. Now in Iceland, they gave us a big old parka, really heavy, went down
nice.
to your knees and all that, but you had to turn that back in. You didn't get to take it out of Iceland. And they had every day when you get up, you'd have to turn on I think it was channel 4 or something, and it had a ticker going across the bottom would tell you if you were allowed to go outside because it would be so cold and windy. And so that was pretty wild. Sometimes you could get a day off work because it was just too bad. And we had it's so cold, the snow was so dry, so you'd get bad drifting with the wind. And you'd look out the one side of the building and there'd be no snow on the ground, but the building across the way, the third floor windows were covered because the drift was 3 stories high. Just some of the craziest stuff I ever saw, but it still wasn't as cold as Rapid City, though. I don't know how that works. But then I think I told you the story. I don't know if I told you, Poe, when we had a new guy join the squadron, and we didn't do all this hazing crap, and we didn't mess with people too much. But this kid, he was asking, he would go walking around, "Yeah, I'd like to see someone try to do any of that crap with me," and he just was running his mouth constant. And one day, my room was way at the end of the barracks, right by the end door to go outside. And all of a sudden, I hear this ruckus out in the hallway. And I'm like, what's going on? I look out there. There's 5 guys coming. One dude's ahead of the other ones. They got this dude right out of the shower. So he's butt naked. The guy on each arm and leg. The other dude opens the door. They carried him outside and chucked his ass in one of those snow drifts, butt naked. And then they came in and shut that door. So he had to go around to the front door and come in the front door. And he's like, "I can't believe none of you guys helped me." I'm like, you've been asking for this for weeks, dude. Nobody in the squadron has had any hazing incidents for 18 years until there's a reason. But, yeah.
We had my first tech school. We stayed up late. It was right before we were ready to graduate that one and move on. We had our big final test coming up. So normally you had to be in your racks or whatever at a certain time. Since we were towards the end, they let us stay up. So we're up studying late. And I finally said, well, that's it. I'm going to take a shower. And I'm going to bed. So I went to go to my room and get my stuff. Meanwhile, this one dude that was Special Forces pararescue dude, he was in school there. He is taking a shower, and my buddies thought it was me in the public bathroom on that floor, and they took a big bucket of cold water and just dumped it over the thing. I come out in the hallway with my shower stuff, and I see my friends running like, "Oh shit!" And this great big naked dude chasing them down the hall. You mother!
Whoops! Wow. Yeah. Well, I took this one down because I didn't want you to tell a funny story because. Ballistic's dad passed in 2019. Right. Sorry to hear that. Proud Vietnam vet, Jarhead till the end. Semper Fi to your dad. I wasn't a Marine. I was in the Navy, so we're related, but not in the same exact deal. But yeah, sorry for your loss there. And Kelly was going to talk about that same story I just told. Yeah, he was in Pendleton, in California. Nice. Yeah, cannabis, it's tough when losing people with Alzheimer's. All right. Gideon's on his way out. And you're acting like it's 2 a.m. or something. You slacker. Nice seeing you again, Gideon. Hopefully you can make it more often, and we'll try to play some truck sim together sometime.
Yeah. Good night.
No, that's man. That sucks. That sucks, Ballistic.
Oh.
That sucks.
Yeah, sorry about that, Ballistic.
Oh shoot! I've been running the air conditioner in the house on the generator. Kelly's, I might have run out of gas on it. I'm guessing the air. Just plug it in the house, Kelly. Just switch the plug to the regular and run it in there. It'll be fine. Yeah. Wow. Roy Thomas Bolin, first lieutenant.
Nice.
All right. I know it's really late, so we could get in. It's really late. It's tough for you to get here, but yeah. It's always fun to talk about. It's always fun to talk about old times in the service. You get me and Mike together. We can kill 3 hours just talking about old sea stories, and neither one of us were on a ship. And then you get Poe in the mix, and then he can say his Air Force stories, and then Mike and I can laugh at him. I mean, laugh with him is what I meant to say. But yeah. Happy Father's Day, Ballistic. Yeah. Tell your dad you love him. Yes, if you have the opportunity, tell your dad you love him. I lost my father a few years back. I wasn't Alzheimer, but I lost him a few years back. Mine's more of an advertisement. Don't mess around. Get your colonoscopy. Don't be a wuss. Get it done. Because my dad was 74 years old. They found a mass. Did have cancer in it, but it wasn't horrendous. But he never made it out of the surgery. And so I lost my dad. So those of you that still have your dad, tell him hey. But yeah. And then a few years later, that's when I got diagnosed with almost identical to what my dad had. Again, don't skip your colonoscopy. I had to skip mine because of COVID and canceling elective surgeries because everyone elects to have a colonoscopy. So what are you going to do next week, Poe? I'm going to go get me a colonoscopy.
Yeah, and I was supposed to have mine that same week in February that I went into the hospital. So they canceled that. They're like, you had a heart catheterization. You can't have. So I still haven't got in to get mine checked yet. I was wondering if Mike wanted to take a few looks. I'll get the camera up in there. And
right. Yeah, see, the thing is, it took 2 years from when I was supposed to have mine. And then we moved in the meantime when COVID was ending and all that stuff. And by the time I could finally do it, and there's a chance that if I'd have got it done when I was supposed to, when I turned 50, they might have been able to clip out the mass that I had then during the colonoscopy. But by the time 2 years went by, it turned into a fairly major surgery. And yeah, I got probed a lot. I felt like I was in the middle of an alien invasion movie there for about 3 months. I didn't know what was going on. Ballistic did a video before and after his first colonoscopy last year. In the middle of some of my OnlyFans. See, my colonoscopy I had the same day that they did endoscope because I was having acid reflux. So of course I had to do the obligatory ask the doctor on the way in. Now, do you use the same scope, and which one are you doing first? And he said, "Don't worry, I have mouthwash when you come back out. It'll be fine." But yeah. So don't scream. There's your public service announcement for the show. Don't wuss out. Get your colonoscopy because you want to catch that stuff early rather than late. But I got my first this last year. I got my first. I get 3 years now before my next colonoscopy because once they find something, you're going every year. And yeah, Ballistic hits it right here. The prep is the worst. You drink that juice. It's not the best tasting stuff. And then you spend all evening on the toilet. And it's not a fun day. By the time you go into the thing, they put you out and then you come out and they're like, we either found something or they didn't. So
I got the same thing now at my age anytime I eat hot sauce.
Right. Yeah.
Love that chicken at Popeyes.
Yeah. It's funny. You could joke about that stuff, but boy, once you drink that stuff, you don't know how much liquid you can shoot out your backside. I'm like, this cannot be healthy. This is not right. Because you drink it, and then it takes a little while till it starts working. But you're drinking like every 15 minutes. You got to drink an 8-ounce glass of it or something like that. You're like dreading it. And you're like, this is doing nothing. And then all of a sudden you're sitting there and you feel a little gurgle. You're like, I wonder what that, oh my God. And you run in, you're in the bathroom, you get up, you go back out and sit down. You're like, dang it. You run back in. And you're like, how is this physically possible? I drank a half a gallon of this stuff and I pooped out 6 gallons. This is not, the math is not mapping.
Chocolate rain.
But by the end, it's in TMI. By the end, you're just straight out pooping water. So there's nothing. But you get so road rashed from the wiping, and you get to dreading going back in there because you're like, just pat it, just pat. No more wipe, just pat it. It is, yeah. By the end, it's clear. It's just straight out water, which is what you're looking for. If it's not, then you got to redo everything. But yeah, you're tender by the end of that because you're just going so much. Oh, and the procedure itself is nothing. The procedure, and I had to do that prep every other week, 3 times in a row, because they were doing different scope. Once they find something, then they had to go in and send another probe up so they could take pictures and do all these different sonograms and stuff. And then 2 weeks later, I had to have another procedure, and it was all the same prep. And it finally got to one that I just had to do a little enema. This is great television here, people. Don't tune out. All I had to do was one of the enema squirt bottle things. I'm like, finally, something I can, it's not a full.
The probe the doctor showed me had that little jackrabbit on the top. Did you get that one?
I didn't have that insurance plan.
Oh.
Yeah. But mine, I always joke around and tell it's true, but I had the fortunate thing that the mass was within finger reach. It was only in about this far. So every single time I went to see my doctor that was going to do the surgery, he was, well, let's see, let's make sure. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. And so it was just, yeah, it was a fun time. But yes, and ballistic, it could save your life. And I've had guys ask me, because guys get squeamish about talking about this stuff, and I'm like, one dude was straight up, why do you talk about this? You're talking about they're sticking things in your butt. And I said, because if I hadn't got it done, it would have turned to cancer and it would have killed me. So right. The moral of the story is don't die because you don't want someone to scan in your butt. So, yeah.
That's how I survived prison.
Right. Right. And there's a game about it too. So those of you who want to have a good time with poop, you should play Poop Simulator. Guy has to go to the bathroom all the time. It's all good fun.
The bonus
makes you want to get a colonoscopy.
You have him drink the juice for the colonoscopy and the bonus round, and you can shoot all the enemies.
Well, I think it's your poop that comes out as a monster, and you have to defeat him using wipes.
Oh, it's like the shit demon in Dogma.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Mr. Poe equals Mr. Poop. When he mistypes his name he gets a high score and he accidentally hits the button too fast. He can put the poo in there. I've seen it happen. 87 degrees in Sacramento. See, I take 87 right now because it's hotter than that in here. But I do have this air conditioner blowing right on me, so it's not all that bad. Otherwise, I'd just be a mess, covered in sweat, sitting here and just my underbritches thong backwards.
Do you know how cold I got it set in here? And it was by accident. I have it set on the AC at 65. I'm like, why is it so damn cold in here? And it's like, oh, I feel like I'm in the freezer. Yeah.
Nice.
So if I start taking off my t-shirt and stuff, don't be surprised. It's just
right.
I'm probably going into shock.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. See, Ballistic, I didn't do a video and stuff, but I lost in about a month's time. I want to say I lost 22 or 25 pounds. And then one nurse, she's like, "Man, you're losing a lot of weight these last few weeks." I said, "You put me on a restricted diet for a week, then you make me drink the poop juice, and any lasting stuff I have in me, I poop out all night. And then you give me 1 week, and then you did it again." I did that for 3 times. I said, "You don't let me eat, and then you just make me poop. So what do you expect?" And she's like, "True, fair enough." But yeah, it was. It's not a hey, what's up, Polo?
Hey,
Happy
Polo.
Father's Day. I don't know if you're a father or not. It's much easier on Mother's Day. You can say Happy Mother's Day, but or when women say Happy Father's Day to me, I don't have to wonder, do I say it back? But when dudes do, I don't know if they're fathers. So, but I say it back to anyone. Happy Father's Day. If you're not a father, say hello to your father. Give him a call. Let him know you still care. Yeah. Gamers need colonoscopies too. There you go. There you go. Happy Big Bro Day. Yeah. All right. So what else we need to talk about, Poe? Anything of interest we need to talk about?
Well, I did finally go ahead and break down and pick up an NES game that I hated so much as a kid. It was the only game that I ever returned. I got it for Christmas one year. I was excited and had that over the Christmas break, and just, I don't want this. You know, my mom's like, "Well, the stores are closed. You're going to have to wait." But I figured since I collect, I had to eventually bring back Ghostbusters for the NES. So it's in the collection. It's actually a nice copy, and it's got the book. And while I was at it, I didn't have Ghostbusters 2. So I had to grab this. Same guy was selling this one, so I got a little package deal with this. So maybe I'll play it on my channel one year. Now, the version of this that came out for the 2600 really isn't that bad, but for the NES, oh man.
Yeah, I played the Sega Master System on that version, and I really liked that one. I never played the NES. I know a lot of, anytime I would get it at the video store, my friends put it back. They're like, "Nope."
Right.
I mean, we did get to play Ghostbusters 2. That's why I remember that. But anytime I grabbed that, my friend Kevin's like, "No, dude, we're not playing Ghostbusters."
And this one, Ghostbusters 2, it was a little bit later, of course. So
yeah,
I probably, well, we're saying we have a copy right here of 89, but I don't know when it was actually released. There was some point where I had a slowdown with the NES right before the SNES came out. So never did own this one before, and I don't think I even rented it before. So, especially after getting burnt by that first one, man, was I disappointed. I could still remember it being in one of the Christmas catalogs, Sears or Penny's, and I saw it, and I'm like, "I want Ghostbusters." I'm circling it for the NES. Yeah, I can't wait to get this. Christmas morning, I opened. I'm like, yeah, and I put it in, and you're going up the stairs, and like, what is this mess? I don't want it.
Oh, you should get the hack, the Ghostbusters 2. It's the what was it? It's the other. I think Japan had it, isn't it? It's not the one made by Activision. It was made by another company.
Oh yeah.
HAL. I think it was HAL. And it's like with the two, you can pick 2 Ghostbusters, and you're going around in a building or whatnot. That one looks good.
I'll have to check that out too. Yeah, well, we'll see. Maybe I'll play these both in one video and pull an angry video game nerd and blow the thing up or something. Yeah, I was on a kick is what it was. I don't remember what exactly I was doing that night. Probably watching lots of YouTube instead of making a new video myself. And then started getting into the Ghostbusters stuff. And I actually went on and ordered the Frozen Empire Ultra High Def. It's coming out at the end of this month. And then when I did that, then I went back to the Ghostbusters games, and next thing you know, cha-ching, cha-ching, you know. So.
Oh, did you reserve your copy of Luigi's Mansion 2?
No,
That's
you
coming
know,
out.
my boy, I know he'll be getting it, but now he has his own Switch, so he'll probably buy it for himself down there. So I'm gonna probably have to get my own copy of it. So
I know, like we have like this game store. It's like it's called Double Jump Video Games. I don't know if you've ever seen their YouTube channel. So the guy that's running the store, I know if you pre-order from him, they're gonna do a raffle. I might actually cancel my pre-order with GameStop and go and get it from him because he's making custom sleeve covers for the game and
cool.
also an alternate artwork for your game. So they're
nice.
just doing that and they're doing like 5 raffles for it. So I'm thinking about doing that. And I saw it on his YouTube channel. I'm like, oh, that looks neat. I might have to pre-order from him on that.
yeah, that's cool. Although I have no luck at winning things at all, as proof by Mike's Gaming Gala had his live show on again, where it's giveaways, right? Every time I've been on there, I didn't win. He puts the names on the big wheel if you put a certain thing in the comments. Now that I'm a member of his page, I don't have to be there for the live streams. I'll automatically get put on the wheel. So he does his yesterday, and he had 2 spins for 2 winners. He had Retro Bliss won something, and somebody else. And then before he closed out that screen, he accidentally hit the spin again button, and that's when it landed on my name. And he just busts out laughing. He's like, "That one didn't count. Sorry, Poe." What the hell?
Yeah. Yeah. So Ballistic said he needs to see the new Ghostbuster movie. Any good, Mike?
I liked it.
What do you?
What are
What are
my
your thoughts,
thoughts
Mike?
on it?
Yeah.
It was okay. For me, it was okay. It wasn't the best, but you should definitely watch it. I would suggest it. I am going to buy it because I already pre-ordered it on Amazon. So if you can tell,
I think the
yeah.
opening scene when they show the firefighters that were in that building in the early 1900s, I thought that whole part was cool. You know,
Yeah.
they're in.
And I kind of agreed with. I think your initial assessment, Mike, was the first one of these new 2 was better than this one.
Oh, Afterlife. Loved
Yeah,
Afterlife.
But I think this one. I think it was a good movie. I enjoyed watching it, but it wasn't a great.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
I
kind
I
of
bought this one to add to the collection since I have all the other ones
Yeah.
on Blu-ray or whatever. That's why I went ahead.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't like about it was just it had way too many characters introduced where they should have just focused on the core people.
Definitely.
Yeah, because I was actually more interested with the girl, Egon's granddaughter, hanging out
Mhm.
with Ray. I thought that was like a pretty cool when she was like with him. You know, even though Ray's
Yeah.
not supposed to be a Ghostbuster, I thought that was a really cool
Yeah.
segment they did there. And I just like, whoa, why can't they focus on that? That was actually pretty cool.
Yeah. It was kind of spread thin, I think.
Yeah.
But it was worth watching. I enjoyed it. I had, it wasn't like I turned it off and I was all pissed off or bummed or anything. It just wasn't.
That's not my Ghostbusters.
Right.
Right.
Not my Ghostbusters was the one with all the women in it. That one
with
doesn't
the
count.
cheap, yeah. I was just going to say it wasn't that at that level for sure, but yeah, and then let's see. Ballistic has some other things here. He's talking Poe about the drawing there. Takes your name out.
Yeah, I'm not allowed in any future drawings now that I won.
This version looks better with. I think he's talking about. Polo's talking about this maybe. Ghostbusters Sanctum of Slime.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not sure. And then Cannabis
never
said someone
played
did a
that.
ROM hack of new Ghostbusters 2 by Al that's rated A for adults because of sex. I would say the name, but of the hack.
There's
but
my
he
one.
doesn't think it's
When the ghost head goes down on Ray, is that a mini game in there?
right. You don't think it's appropriate to say in our chat? Wow.
We're not PG-13.
Yeah, you could say whatever you want. We
I
may or
got
may
that.
not put it on the screen, but
That newer VR one for the PS5 and played a little bit of it live, but I need to yet another game that I bought and need to get back to. It's been so long, I probably forgot everything.
yeah. Oh, Polo says he had the name wrong. Spirits Unleashed.
Yeah,
think you
but as
got that
far as the
game.
names go,
Isn't
There's
that
been a
a
lot.
Switch game? Didn't you buy that? I think you bought it. Didn't you?
Oh,
It's kind of
not
like a
me.
first person with the, is it
yeah,
that one?
probably. I buy all kind of stuff. So
Because I know you were like asking us to buy it, and I'm like, oh, I didn't buy that one. It's was it the VR one? Yeah.
I have the newest VR one that came out for PS5 and came out for Quest 3 or Quest, but that one that came out on the PS3 was excellent. That was like a movie that they actually wrote the script for and stuff. And I remember ordering that game from GameStop. I pre-ordered it. So anybody that did the pre-order, you would get a phone call, and it was on my answer machine back when we had answer machines and landlines. And with Dan Aykroyd calling, and they're playing like scary music in the background, and then he starts talking to you like you're a new Ghostbuster and telling you the game comes out tomorrow, go get your coffee. I thought that was neat.
Oh, that's the one where you're the new guy on it, right? Kind of the third person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that one. Yeah, I got it for the Xbox 360.
They ended up remastering it, I think, for the newer systems now, too.
And also the Switch. I think they got it for the Switch.
Yeah, and that was the one that for a while there they were calling the real third movie of the series because all the guys were involved with it and everything.
Yep.
Yeah. Cannabis put the title of that game on the chat. That is kind of rated R title.
Oh. Oh.
Did you see it, Bo?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to leave it on.
No, I never saw that. Never saw that game
that.
before.
Yeah. That's new. They just don't do things the way they used to. Yeah.
Right.
That's everything, though. That's everything. Yeah, I watch a lot of Kelly and I watch a lot of people that are reviewers on or whatever they call them, reaction videos on YouTube. So they'll listen to old hair metal bands and watch movies that we all watched back. And it's amazing how many young people in their early 20s they'll watch movies from the 80s and stuff, and they'll be like, they just don't make movies like this anymore. These things are crazy. This is insane. It's like, yeah, they don't make movies like that anymore. And it is, or the music. They're like, even the young kids are like, today's music compared to you guys grew up in the 80s, just had it so awesome. All these bands were like, we know.
Yeah, I saw a reaction video like that. It was all different groups of young girls, and they're hearing the Bee Gees sing Too Much Heaven for the first time ever. And these girls are all crying when they hear the voices. Like, oh my God, they couldn't believe his voice and everything. Like, wow, it's really the first time they're ever hearing that. That's surprising.
A fun one to watch is if you can find some younger, or not super young, but maybe around 30-ish. So they're old enough that, and especially if they're black people and they've heard play that funky music, white boy, but they've never seen what Wild Cherry looks like. And they're like, that's a white dude? What the fuck? I've heard that song a million. My mom used to listen to. I would have swore that was a brother. Yeah, so those are pretty funny. But yeah, we watch a lot of reaction videos where younger people, are just blown away by the movies and music and everything from the 80s, early 90s, and stuff like that. And then because everything now is so watered down and generic, and it's tough. You don't see a lot of just going out there and doing stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
movies so much bigger and more explosions. The gratuitous woman that runs by with her top off for no apparent reason.
Or too much CGI. I miss the practical special effects in films.
Oh yeah, you watch these young people watch a movie like The Thing from 1982, and they're like, "Oh my
yeah.
gosh, these effects! Oh my! Oh look at that! Oh geez!"
The CGI. That's not CGI.
You had whole magazines for the Fangora magazine back in the day, you know,
Yep.
all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, Saturday morning cartoon. No, now that they're spoiled with the cartoons because they have them 24/7, but the quality of the cartoons. I mean, you can't have good old cartoons like we had that were just filled to the brim with violence. Elmer Fudd shoots Daffy Duck and his beak is around the backside of his head. That is quality entertainment for a 5-year-old. I don't know why they don't air that stuff.
The square dance with the hillbillies. I always loved that one. Bugs Bunny starts playing. Poke your finger in his eye. They're poking each other in the eye.
Yeah. Oh, it's the music and singers don't all sound well now anymore. They don't even have to sing. We can go on a whole rant about that auto tune and the pitch monitor, the pitch software. So it's everybody's pitch perfect. It doesn't even matter. These people don't have to sing. And we watch also some vocal coach people that'll watch, and we watched just the other day, this vocal coach, she watched Skid Row, I Remember You. She never heard Sebastian Bach sing before, and she's like, and this is before auto-tune. This guy is really singing this. This is amazing. And it's like, yeah. When we grew up, we listened to the radio. We were actually hearing people play music and sing songs. We weren't listening to a computer fixing everything. And
lately, the biggest advertisement I see is the dude that can teach you how to play any song in 4 chords on the piano, and I can teach you in 1 hour. Seeing those ads every second.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy, but yeah, we can rant about it and sound like a bunch of old. Get off my lawn! We can go in full-on old Poe mode, but without the filters, because just talking about how things. But it's true, and it's when I played in that band, Charmaine sang in our band. Phenomenal singer, excellent stage performer, just amazing, and we recorded. We did a recording, and in one of her songs, she was holding a note out, and just for a fraction of a second, her voice cracked for just a second. If you looked at it on the software, you'd see this line is just perfect. She's holding, and then just a little dip down, and the guy at the studio is like, "Well, I can fix that. Watch this," and he grabs it and he just straightened that one little section. And she goes, "We're re-recording it," and he goes, "No, it's good. It's fixed. It's perfect." She goes, "That's not me now. I didn't sing that note now." Because they took one little notch, and it's like her head would explode if you auto-tuned her whole song. It's like, that is not me singing. That is the computer fixing. Although she did kind of think it was cool when he said, what would be cool is if we had a harmony track in here, and he just grabbed her thing and pulled it down to the 5th, and now all of a sudden she was harmonizing with herself. She's like, okay, that's pretty cool. Mess with her lead vocal track. She wanted it to be 100% what came out of her mouth is what you guys are going to hear. Maybe a little reverb or something like that, but nothing crazy. But she was very upset that he fixed that note. It was literally like a tenth of a second that he took out and flattened. But nowadays, you don't even know. Singers don't even have to sing. They just got to look pretty and be able to dance.
Like me.
Right. That's how Poe got his contract. Yeah. But it's crazy.
Yeah, that's funny you mentioned that. I remember. Do you remember Christopher Cross, the singer?
Yep.
Yeah. So basically, he was a radio star, right? And then the music videos came out, and I saw his interview. He's like, "Well, I'm not going to last long because I'm not a really handsome guy."
Yeah.
And I didn't see too much of him anymore. Or if he did music, it was not him with his face unless he taped it with a live audience and stuff. That was
Right.
the only time you would see a music video of him.
Well, there you go. The first music video on MTV, the Buggles video killed the radio star, and they foresaw it. And that song actually came out a couple years before. A lot of people don't know that. That was, I think, '79 is when they released that song, because people starting to. And if you think of some of the great voices that sang, like I'm a big fan of Roy Orbison. Dude had a phenomenal voice, just amazing. But if you look at him, he wasn't the ugliest guy on the planet, but he wasn't a looker either. And nowadays they would be like, we can auto-tune someone to sound just like that. We need you to look good. Yeah, look at Melissa Coffee Boy. He's doing the Humpty dance because he can dance like a white guy having a stroke. Yeah, that's a hilarious song, the Humpty Dance. When you listen to how you do the dance, you look like MC Hammer on crack.
We've been through this before on here. And my son's laid down by the underground.
My nose is big like a pig.
Let's get stupid.
But even, yeah, we can go on that rant again, though. But even that, I'm not an official on rap music, but the rap music in the late 70s, early 80s, all the way through most of the 80s, it was fun. You got stuff like the Humpty Dance. You got stuff, Run DMC, they were singing, It's Tricky and Dumb Girls and stuff like that. The Beastie Boys are singing about Paul Revere and all these fun songs, and then all of a sudden it became Bitches and Hoes and it's like, what just happened? Yeah, look at Kelly knows. She likes her oatmeal lumpy.
White people do the Humpty Hump. Do the Humpty. Samoans do the Humpty Hump.
I like it at the very beginning. He starts it right off when he says, "My name is Humpty," pronounced with a Humpty. It's like that is my type of rhyme. But
And if you missed it, I'm the one who signed. Just grab him in the biscuit.
Yeah, and I can tell you, I have a playlist on my YouTube Music, which I use that instead of Spotify because Shelby has YouTube Premium and she put us on her plan, so I can have all the songs I want for free. But I have an old '80s rap that's got Run DMC and Curtis Blow and all these guys, and I'm just rapping right along with it. But then, well, for Christ's sake, they got mumble rap now. What the hell is that? You're not even trying to enunciate. It's like, come on now. That's not. Oh my gosh! Now I'm going to be called racist now because I don't like mumble rap. I would like mumble rap even if it was Eminem. There you go. Now I'm free. Free from the racism. Yeah. But yeah, Peter Lorre. Oh yeah, that's Run DMC. He's more sinister than Peter Lorre, and this is just 8 Million Stories. It's actually from a Curtis Blow song, 8 Million Stories, and Run DMC had a segment in the middle of it where they did. She's more. They're talking about a chick in that segment. Yeah. Vicky, the girl is fine, but she's sure enough tricky. Vicky's fine. But do I have buttermilk biscuits on my playlist? No, I don't. I don't have buttermilk biscuits. But you know what I have on my playlist? Something I just discovered not that long ago. Everyone knows about Sir Mix-a-Lot, Baby Got Back.
Yep.
Everyone knows that song. I never heard it back in the day. I just discovered about 2 years ago now, my Hoopty, the one about his car. Have you heard that song?
I heard that.
Oh, it is freaking hilarious. I love that song. Yeah, he's talking about some punk throwing him a flip-off sign. He's like, gonna back up and cause trouble. And the cop's like, gets his license. Man, they all look like Tyson. It's like, yeah. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Cannabis. Death metal is kind of like mumble rap in a way. We played a show. This is no lie. When I was in Always April, we played a show with this band. Really great guys. They were awesome. They were probably in their late 30s, and I was in my early 40s at the time. And they played just that death metal screamo stuff. And we were talking backstage, just the coolest guys you'd ever. And all of their songs were like satanic stuff and all that. But it didn't matter because you couldn't understand. And this dude literally, he'd get on stage and he'd go, this first song is called, and it's off of our album called Satan Lives. And you're like, I don't know what. And then he talked normal, but then as soon as the music started playing, he's just eating the microphone for 3 minutes. And then he did, okay, and now our next song. And you're like, dude. But yeah, just hilarious. Great guys though. Great guys. But I don't know how his voice survived because my throat hurt doing that impression. Yeah, Kelly likes the Hoopty song. Bo, are you familiar with Sir Mix-a-Lot's Hoopty?
Yeah, I heard you saying. I don't know if I remember that one.
Oh, it's hilarious. If you get a chance, pull it up on YouTube or Spotify or just listen to it. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Yeah. Oh, Kelly said I sound like Bill Burr's dog. I did that side. You ever see that one when he's talking about Bill Burr's No Reason to Hit a Woman? And he tells the story about his girlfriend got him all mad and he's walking the dog. And Bill Burr's like, yeah, I'm walking down and it's like I have Tourette's. I'm like, motherfucker, I can't believe this shit. Oh. And the dog's walking with me all. Yeah, Bill Burr's pretty funny. I like Bill Burr. He's pretty good. Anyway, what else, Mike?
Music?
Anything you want to talk about? I've been talking for a long time, and I just thrashed my voice.
Oh yeah, probably The Thing. Is that coming out for the Switch? I think.
Yeah, I think
or
everything.
PlayStation 5 or 4 or whatnot. I saw the trailer to that, so it's supposed to be the from the old game, from the Xbox, the original Xbox.
Yeah.
I think it had it on there. I'm not sure if the PlayStation 2 had it or not, but yeah, that looked interesting. I'm wondering if they're going to kind of fix some of the gameplay.
Yeah, and now Atari's involved in this one now, right? Did you see that in the little credits?
Yeah. So I hope because I know when I had it and stuff, I couldn't get really too far on it. Sometimes the game would kind of like get stuck. Like I can't see where the thing is because I'm inside the wall or something. So
yeah,
a lot of the gameplay is buggy on that. But I'm really hoping, I hope they fix a lot of the issues on that game.
My brother bought that for the original Xbox. I never got to play it, but when he bought it, I remember they were giving away a DVD of the original movie, along with the game back when he bought it. But
nice. And you know what would be kind of funny if you play the game, right? And then you go up to, was it like the computer that he gets mad at and spills coffee?
Yeah.
Remember Kurt Russell?
That would be right up Poe's alley.
There should be a mini game where you're going to play the chess game and you get all angry, you toss coffee at it. So
there you go, Poe. That's a great idea. You need to get a little clip of him dumping that cheat bit, and then every time we have one of these challenges and someone posts a score, you can just post that meme. You wouldn't even have to. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Kelly's right. It's liquor.
Yeah,
I thought he was drinking coffee.
Yeah, it was like whiskey or something, wasn't it? Or, yeah. He had it on the rocks, I think.
Yeah.
That old 8086 motherboard.
I'm pretty sure they have a replacement for that since they're out in the Arctic, right?
That thing had almost half a megabyte of RAM in that thing. You heard it here, kids. Megabyte with an M. Yeah.
And then the other thing I saw, I'm probably going to buy it because it's Black Ops 6 for Call of Duty. So they're making a new one. And unfortunately, if any of you had, if you got the game, you can't transfer your skins over because it's going to be a new type of game that they're making. What was fascinating when I watched the trailer, I'm like, wait a minute, is that like, I saw former President Clinton. And I said, wait a minute, is this in the 90s? So I looked it up. Yeah, it takes place in the early 90s. And with the CIA is involved in the game and stuff like that. And then I'm like, oh, I got to get this because it's during my era when I went into the Navy. So 96.
Oh,
so
hopefully one of the DLC skins is a blue dress with a stain on it.
No. No, I'm hoping is I told my son, like, I wonder if if it takes place during that type of era, if there might be like a campaign where you're in Kosovo, because that was during what was it called, Operation Allied Forces. That was during the Yugoslavian War and Kosovo. So that was one of the major operations during when he was in office. So I told my son, I go, wow, Call of Duty's caught up to where I was at in the military. So I
remember that awesome one with Kennedy and Nixon, and Castro, and
was,
once you triggered everything, then it played an Eminem song while you were racing around killing zombies.
Oh yeah, because if you played by single player, it random, you could be like Castro or Kennedy on it. Yeah, that was hilarious. And then anytime you shoot a zombie, like Kennedy would say something smart on it, or Castro, or what was it? They had the Russian, or not Russian, but Soviet Union guy, Mikhail Gorbachev was in it, wasn't it?
I can't remember. I played it a lot with my brother and my friends online.
I was just laughing, like, what? Mikhail. And did they have like Dick in there too?
Yeah, Nixon was in there, and that was such a cool thing because they kept coming out with cooler and cooler maps. Like they had the one with what's her name from Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Sarah Michelle Gellar. Yep.
Yeah,
and then they had Hellboy.
Machete was in there. Yeah, the guy that played Merle from The Walking Dead, or he's also.
Yeah. So funny. Yeah, that's right. They used to hire like these actors to play the zombie hunters on that game. Oh, that's hilarious. I need to go play some of that old stuff.
Well, those were the best. Those maps that came out. We love those.
But yeah, they're bringing back zombies on it, so I'm kind of wondering what they're going to do with that during that kind of era. So, yeah, I told my friends with Air Force Jason, and of course I know like Army Brandon. They've been on my channel before, but yeah, I let them know, and they're like, what? They're coming out. And then they're kind of disappointed because a lot of the stuff, the DLC we bought and the skins won't transfer over. But I said, well, Modern Warfare 3 wasn't, a good... I didn't like it. Like, the campaigns were kind of like this mini map thing, which wasn't a campaign like all the other Call of Duty games were. Like it had a normal story, but it's like, what they do here, it's a little bit different. So we didn't enjoy that. So... yeah, looking forward to that. I'm gonna pre-order that game probably tomorrow. Like during my lunch break, because I'm excited. I hope it does kind of take place in that era because it said the 90s, so I'm like, oh, cool. And hopefully it'll put 90s music in it too, because they did that with Warzone. They had like Billy Idol, Rebel Yell was playing. That was like my track. I played that when I'm riding in the Humvee with my friends and just running people over. Like, yeah, we gotta play some Billy Idol to run some people over. Yeah. But yeah, looking forward to that.
Excellent. All right. Well, I don't know if you guys had much more to talk about, but I am getting tired. And I got to go to work tomorrow again. Working one more Monday. Hopefully this is the last one, but I got up at 4. Man, I slept like crap last night too. Kelly started making the bed and I was still in it because I'm like, and usually I wake up 10, 15 minutes before the alarms go off. And I didn't want to get up. So I'm kind of struggling. I would say that you guys are welcome to stay on and everything, but I think either Greg or I have to be here because I don't think you guys can tell it to end the stream. So
Right.
I
No,
think,
no, it's fine. We can end it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think
my
we gotta
phone's getting pretty low here, so.
go. Yeah, and
Oh, just a quick note. I did watch the Kong versus Godzilla, or not versus, but the X. That new one.
comics.
That was
Yeah.
a good movie.
I
Yeah, we
like
watched that last night. Yeah, really good film.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. And are you guys watching the new Star Wars show, The Acolyte?
No,
No.
I haven't watched it yet. Did you?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm up to date on it. I had to see what all the controversy was, and
Is it true? Is it
It's-
watchable?
I'll tell you, it's weird because in some ways it's not good. You know, it's not good Star Wars. I don't feel like it's good Star Wars, but to me, I was so let down with the Kenobi show because it turned
Yeah.
into the Princess Leia show, Kid Leia running around instead of. I thought it was going to be Obi-Wan protecting Luke, and
Yeah.
instead, you know, so that was depressing to me. So at least I don't have that aspect of it, and I'm not as up on the Star Wars lore. They said Episode 3 was, you know, destroying Star Wars, and there are some things in it that do not line up with the
movies.
canon from
Yeah.
the past, and some people are really upset about it. I think it's okay. I'm it's not my favorite Star Wars stuff, but I'm gonna watch the whole run, see where they're going with what they're doing. I don't want to give away spoilers, but yeah, it's not what you would think. They're doing some stuff, you know, kind of like the sequels were, where, you know, it's not the Luke Skywalker you were expecting in The Last Jedi, and he's all depressed and not the hopeful, optimistic guy that we left in Episode 6. And it's kind of like that. The way they're treating the Jedi and stuff is a little weird, you know. And
So the Jedi now drink the blue milk that Luke has, right?
straight from the tap.
Yeah, you just run up and you grab an alien's titty and start
Yeah.
drinking.
Just not the Twi'leks, because they're not allowed to show their cleavage anymore.
So
So
honestly, that
Disney bought the,
blue milk gives you the blues. It's been bad for Luke both times he's had it.
yeah,
I'll go
yeah. But I think it's
in The
worth
Last
watching.
Jedi. I don't want to train anybody. I'm so depressed.
Yeah, I'd say it's worth watching for to see what you think of it. You know,
Ah.
and even Ahsoka to me was a little bit of a letdown because I was really looking forward to that shit series.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was as good as I was hoping, but it also wasn't as bad as some of the, you know, if you watch the guys on the internet right now, they're trashing the Acolyte. It's the worst thing that's ever happened, and Rotten Tomatoes is too. I think the Rotten Tomato meter is 15% right now
Yeah.
for
I don't have Disney anymore. We got rid of it a while back, so I didn't even see the last season of Mandalorian yet. I want to watch it in the worst way.
I have this thing on my on my little bookmarks bar, and if I click on that, they somehow I end up with the show. It just ends up on my hard drive. I don't know how that works. I try to stop it. I don't know. I use one of those VPNs that's supposed to block things like that from happening, but somehow it just ends up on my TV. Yeah, I had Disney Plus for a year because we got it for free from Verizon, and there was when I saw the direction they were taking a lot of these shows and movies, I was not going to pay for it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, have
Look
you
at it that way.
seen the Fallout series yet?
I have
Oh, good.
I have watched. I've never played the games. I don't know anything about the games. And I said, all right, let's see what all this hype is about the Fallout. And we watched all of this thing in 3 nights.
Right.
We're like, okay, this is pretty cool. Let's keep watching. And
Yes.
all of a sudden, you're like, shit, we're done now. All of a sudden,
I really enjoyed that, and my son played some of the games, and I watched him play them. I never played them myself, and my buddy's been playing them since way back when they started, you know. But he really wanted to watch that, and he made me promise not to watch it without him. So when we went to that bed and breakfast, they had a Roku or something like that. So I just put in our code for my Amazon Prime, and we sat and watched it in those 2 days that he got the visit. We sat and watched all of that while he had spaghetti, and it was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, we really liked it.
Yeah. See, Shelby has Amazon Prime, and it was kind of funny. She came over one night after work, and we were starting to watch an episode, and she goes, "Oh, did you guys activate my Amazon Prime? You can, if you want to watch Fallout, you can watch it. I'll give you my code or whatever, so we can watch it over here." She watches it at her house, and then she goes, "Oh shit, you guys are on episode 5." I'm like, yeah, it showed up on the hard drive. I don't know what happened, but I do have access to get Amazon Prime, so I don't feel so bad about downloading that. And I justify that the Disney Plus stuff that magically appears here because I wouldn't have paid for it anyway. So if it's not like I'm stealing from Disney or taking, I just wouldn't have watched it. It's like it's not a matter of pay for it or don't or pay. It would have been watch it or don't watch it, and I would have chosen not to watch it. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like when I used to accidentally make copies of DVDs back in the day. If I liked the movie and would have bought it, I bought it anyway. And if it was a movie that it's like, well, I may watch someday again, or I want to show it to someone else, maybe I might make a copy of it. But I never copied something that I would have bought anyway. So
I have a hard time anyway with the Star Wars stuff and even the Ghostbusters stuff because my best friend that I grew up with, that we always talked about this stuff well into adult life, he passed away in a car accident a few years ago. So it's like, oh, you forget, I want to ask Jeff what he thought about this. And it's like, oh, that's right. He's not here anymore, so it's kind of like, I don't know. Sometimes I have a problem with watching that stuff anyway. And then when you do, if it really lets you down, then you're like, well, probably good he didn't have to see what they're doing with these franchises now.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, the only thing I'll say about the Acolyte is a lot of the stuff that I've heard where people go really off the rails with, whether it's a gay agenda or something like that, I'm not seeing any of that. I mean, there's a couple characters that I guess they are, but it's not like you're watching sex. It's still a Star Wars series, and
what's the big? People go nuts about the dumbest thing.
It's not a big part of it. It's not like the whole show is centered around anything that's, for lack of a better term, the whole woke agenda or anything like that. I'm not seeing that. I just think some of the storylines are a little weird and not what I would expect out of a Star Wars franchise. But, so that's about where I'll leave it. I think so far, I think it's worth a watch. I'm watching it every week, not just, like watching a car accident, or a train wreck. I'm watching it because I want to see where they're going with the story. But there are definitely some moments where you're like, okay, not where I would have gone with this, but whatever, Interesting side note, the one Jedi on there, Sol is his name. He's the dude from the Squid Games. And he doesn't speak English at all. So he's basically doing the script just by what the words are supposed to sound like.
Oh, cool.
Kind of like Jackie Chan did his first few movies in America. They just said, you say these words, and he would just sound it out. Had no idea what he was saying. But yeah, so I think it's I'm going to keep watching it. General rule for me, by the time you get about 3 episodes into a season of something, you kind of start getting to where you want to see where it's going. If I get to 4 or 5, I'm going to finish it because now you're at least a little invested in the characters. Whereas if it sucks so bad that I quit after 1 or 2, that's fine. I'm done. But so I'm at that tipping point where I'm going to watch the rest of them just to see where it goes. But, all right, so that just added another 15 minutes to our show. So we'll go back to what time is it? It is. Oh, I exaggerated because this was at 8:22. Kelly said, "Night, guys." And,
He left.
yeah.
No, that was the last person left. Good night, Kelly.
Yeah. All right, so I'm ready. I don't have Go ahead. It's been scrolling for half the thing. The codes for the FX. We didn't do it. We didn't even talk about it. We didn't do an arcade challenge this week. I didn't even think about it because Greg and I were working on this pinball challenge. I'm guessing, are you guys thinking we'll continue doing arcade and console challenges during
Yeah,
this?
if you want to, we could go ahead and do that. Since you guys are tied up, if you don't want to, you already got stuff going on, Mike and I can just alternate during the pinball season, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. And we didn't, I know it'll come as a shock to our regular viewers, but we didn't discuss any of this before the show. So
No, and I meant to you and Greg had your meeting the other day, and I was hoping to be a part of that at some point. I know I wouldn't have done anything but throw in a few swear words and jokes here and there, but it would have been great to be at that meeting. But,
Right.
We just sat down to eat as soon as he sent that link. So
Right, yeah. So we will get back to those challenges during the week, but this week we focused on the Super League Football, Pinball FX, any of the others, the PlayStation, Xbox, or PC. You use that one code. If you're playing on the Switch, you use the other code. Both of them have a password of just the show, all one word, all lowercase, and you can just get in those things, and we'll put them all together. Next week, we'll tell the winners, and it's going to go on 5 weeks, and then we roll into playoffs. There'll be at least 2 weeks, probably 2 weeks, and then the final 2 players will play on the 3rd week of playoffs. But good time. Get into the thing. You get a point just for playing, so everyone gets a point. Hope to see you on there. Other than that, I'm going to look. You guys can say whatever you need to say while I try to. Do I need to play?
Yeah. Come to the Discord, and I'll call you a cheater no matter what. So,
That's right. That is right.
and it's all in fun. Don't take it too seriously.
Okay, let's see. Man, Greg needs to clear this thing out. We got stuff for New Year's. Stuff on here.
Well, you might need it next New Year's.
Is there something from the 60s that you can play?
Right. Yeah, there's that one from the 60s when Greg turned 60 in 1960.
I'm actually surprised he didn't save the video of Lou Baca that I sent to you guys the other day, because I thought that would show up on the show at some point.
Right? Yeah. Lou Baca. All right, I found an outro.
Nice.
So see y'all next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Later.